The Thomas Crown Affair represents two things to me. One is the iconic presence of Steve McQueen during the 60s and some of the 70s, and two is the shameless bravura of some of these heist films. And whilst no one would claim, I'd assume that this film is the superior to the likes of Dasson's Rififi, Kubrick's The Killing, Lumet's Dog Day Afternoon, Huston's The Asphalt Jungle, Ray's They Live by Night, Melville's best films, Mann's better films, Dearden's The League of Gentlemen, or even a film like Yates's The Friends of Eddie Coyle, or even the ideal McQueen picture compared to The Great Escape, Bullet, The Getaway, or Papillon, those who cherish enough either of those things for their own sake are likely to feel sated by this Norman Jewison extravagant late 60s style of a substance spectacle, which can feel like a trivial, though expensive waste of time, but a classier, more refined, and delicately handled waste of time than what would pass as the effective equivalent of this film today, or for the last 35 or so years of mainstream films by now. Not a cherished classic, and not even one which was widely remembered outside of those who viewed it at a formative age. The Thomas Crown Affair is not guaranteed to survive through posterity, but has endearing qualities which certainly make one feel glad to have watched it at least once, I would personally believe. Not many classic films are nominated from Norman Jewison's body of work. In the Heat of the Night, likely the most prominent, a rather fine film, most of us probably agree. And then there's that Fiddler on the Roof film for those of us who can stomach long musicals, or musicals in the first place. I quite dig Rollerball, potentially my favourite of his pictures, and I do very much appreciate the quite silly, disco pumping Al Pacino legal number Escapade that is 79's and Justice for All, a wildly entertaining film which isn't immune from ridicule. Those qualities which render it so are why I appreciate it so strongly, so unashamedly. And in there is also the Thomas Crown Affair, definitely one of his better films, and as far as films you could catch on television on an uneventful night, you could do a hell of a lot worse than it. Surely we could all agree with that, if nothing else, if one likes this film or doesn't. By the way, if anyone in Sydney happens to be viewing the festival screenings of Mahabharata on the 5th, Gods of Stone on the 6th, The Circle on the 8th, and Angel's Egg on the 9th, feel free to say hello, you'll know which one is me.